So these days when it comes to listening to music, most people have their subscription to a streaming service, but I'm personally wondering if anybody out there is still listening to cassette tapes. So I know that there are audiophiles out there that are interested in collecting and listening to vinyl. Definitely there is still lots of demand for vinyl records, and there is even a resurgence in the prices of vinyl over the last few years. Definitely finding old records of more popular bands that are still well known to this day can be a difficult thing to deal with. Definitely lots of secondhand stores exist now that sell a lot of vinyl and sell them for ridiculous prices. Even some thrift stores are starting to price their records even higher due to demand. But you are still able to find some vinyl records from time to time that are of something decent. I have a couple here that I'm just going to go over quickly that I bought recently for $1 a piece. I found a couple of Police records. I have The Police Zenyatta Mondatta and Synchronicity. I was also able to find U2's War, Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell, and also a soundtrack selection, I suppose, or maybe it might be a full soundtrack, but a soundtrack from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And you're able to find somewhat decent records for fairly cheap if you look hard enough. But one thing that continues to be extremely cheap, at least for the time being, are cassette tapes. Now, I know that there are people out there who are adamant that depending on what kind of hardware you have, what kind of setup you have, you can get the most optimal sound out of your tapes that most people back in the day would have just not ever experienced, and that's why a lot of us don't remember them being anything particularly special and a hassle to deal with. But the thing is, you can get them for really cheap. Now, the only downside is that a good player is usually hard to come by. I even found this Walkman. I don't know how old it is exactly, but I'm going to assume it was either mid-90s or early 2000s. It's a Sony WM-FX453 Walkman with a built-in radio, but trying to use this and rewinding a couple tapes, I ended up just breaking it somehow. I don't know if it's a matter of the belt, but these can be so finicky and just break from almost no effort at all. So it's a matter of trying to find the best way to play your old tapes. But if you're looking to purchase tapes now, you can go to almost any thrift store and they're only going to be 99 cents and sometimes even cheaper than that. And you're still able to find halfway decent albums. Now, I have a selection of albums I found here. Cyndi Lauper, True Color, Sting, Nothing Like the Sun, Madonna, You Can Dance, Aerosmith, Gems, Peter Gabriel's Shaking the Tree, Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits, and also Paul Simon's The Rhythm of the Saints. And like I said, I was able to get these for 99 cents a piece. Music that on any other format would cost you much more than that. Even CDs are going to run you $3 to $4 depending on what thrift store you go to, and records are now being priced at about $2 to $3 at thrift stores, and sometimes even more than that if they are even remotely of a notable musician or band. Well, it might be a little difficult to find the proper hardware to get the most out of your cassette tapes. You might be better off starting to amass a collection of tapes. Definitely, if you do have the need or the want to start collecting some kind of audio format, definitely between CDs, records, and cassette tapes, cassettes are always going to be the cheapest option and the most easy to find overall. So just consider your options out there, and if they are something that you have any interest in, definitely go for it. Like I'm saying, it is the cheapest option for the time being. Always happy to hear when people are still buying physical media. It annoys me so much that we've come to rely so much on either digital downloads or just streaming at this point, and that just seems to be the direction that we are heading towards. This not even owning anything, but just sort of leasing out the rights to listen to it. It's kind of sucky that we don't get to physically own anything anymore, but there are definitely people out there that are still into collecting these items, either for posterity or for just having them to experience them. And like I said, just put your opinions in the comment section below, and anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, just put it down there and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, and website. They're all linked in the description below, and also linked in the description below is a link to my 500 subscribers contest. Check that out as well if you'd like, and that's it. See ya.